Welcome to Money in the Air, the music podcast about neighboring rights, the royalties you earn from the public performance of your recordings and the business of music in general. Brought to you by IFR, the International Association for Artists and Rights Holders.
I'm Andrew, co-founder and chief royalty officer of Royalty.
Hi, I'm Gina Deacon. I work for Absolute Rights Management and I work with record labels and artists to ensure we claim the royalty income due to them.
I'm Stacey Haber and I'm from Inside Baseball Music Publishing.
Hey, welcome back to Money in the Air, the Neighboring Rights podcast brought to you by IFR, the International Association for Artists and Rights Holders.
Question of when you hear your song, your recording rather, because we're discussing neighboring rights, on the radio, when you hear it at a restaurant, at a bar, when are you going to get paid for that? And the whole concept of is something that I know every musician wants to know. They hear their song, they're recording out there, and they want to know, when am I going to get paid for that usage? And we wanted to talk about categories of dates and timelines in this episode today. And typically speaking, when the usage happens, whether it's on a radio station or here in the US on SiriusXM, whoever the licensor is of that music, is going to have a period of time where they have to report that usage to your CMO. And then the CMO has a processing period to process that usage and then ultimately to pay on that usage. So for usage that happens in your home country, it can take anywhere between 6 and 9 months, I'd say, between the point of time when you hear your recording being played out there and you actually seeing it on your statement. And then for international, because it has to go through, get transferred between CMOs, could take anywhere up to a year, maybe plus.
Yeah, that's about it. The same going the other way as well to the US from Europe or the rest of the world. Sound exchange. I heard my song on SiriusXM. I'm
sure they might give you some type of an answer like I just did. But if you indeed have heard your recording being performed on SiriusXM, absolutely make sure. I know there's this whole payment delay thing is problematic, but Sound Exchange does actually have one of the shortest payment cycles from usage to actually receiving it on your statement because they report on a monthly basis. But a few months after, I would say 3 to 4 months, if you have not seen that recording show up on your statement from SiriusXM, give Sound Exchange a call and ask them, when should my recording was played on this radio, on the SiriusXM station in this month, when am I going to receive it on my statement? Because it could be a case, I mean, to be honest with you, that's the type of stuff every musician probably should do, because you're leaving it up to chance. They're doing the best that they can at Sound Exchange and then also at SiriusXM to report accurately. But what if something goes wrong?
Well, exactly right. And certainly here, PPL has no mechanism for you to let them know you heard your song performed in your recording performed in public. But I tell anyone who asks, tell them anyway, because you can't rely on a pub or a cafe or any place to report accurately. So tell them. The worst that'll happen is they'll ignore it, or they'll find out the cross-reference of the usage. And there are a couple of places here that have what they call black boxes that Shazam everything that's played and create the playlist for submission. But that's the exception, not the rule. Do you have them in the US?
No, we don't have any way of. So the way that it's done, at least on the publishing side of things, they do surveys, whatever that truly means, of estimated usage that happened on such radio station. And they also estimate the audience size of that radio station at that given time. But there's no real way to be absolutely sure to capture that information. You know, I go to yoga on a routine basis. There are songs being played at my yoga studio every single day for every single class. how are they capturing what was played during all of those classes, and how many attendees
That's
were
right.
were in that class at that given
That's
time? It's not there. So
No.
you unfortunately, it's interesting that we're in 2024 now and we have no way of capturing music usage, at least on the performance front, like we do on streaming.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And yet, if you do a pop-up event and you you need a license for the music, you have to tell them, upfront what music you're playing and how many people you're expecting and what your square footage is. So, if you can do it like that before the fact, why can't you also make it a requirement and make it an easy requirement subsequent as well?
Exactly. PPL probably should allow users, or not users, but musicians to submit playlists. Of course, validating that can be kind of tricky. What are you going to do? Maybe even, record if you're in the shop and you have your phone on you, take out your phone and record a video of the shop or do something that gives evidence that that recording was played at that given time at that shop. Because
good idea.
Then there's evidence, and most likely, the societies are here to defend your interests. So they're most likely going to give you something for that.
That's right. Absolutely right. And also, if enough people are writing in and saying, I heard it played, why can't I tell you about it? I heard it played, pay me, pay me, pay me. They will make a mechanism for you to do that.
Right, because they're there to serve their customers and you are their customers.
That's right. That's right. Exactly right. Wow. This is good. This is really good. That was a very interesting topic. I hope that we've got it out of your brain now so you don't have to keep fretting about it.
Absolutely. Well, no, it'll still be there because this is what I do. This is what I love. I'm here to help.
That's true. Very, very true. Oh, thank you for this. And thank you for listening. And remember, if you're not a member, go to iafar.co.uk and hit the join button. We'd love to have you. Bye.
Bye.